Isildur's heir, but hidden in plain sight. Why did Aragorn wait so long? When we first meet him in the Fellowship of the Ring, he is not a king. He is Strider, a weathered ranger in the corner of an inn, cloaked in shadow, distrusted by the very people he protects. Aragorn's story is one of delay, of waiting, of choosing the long road when a shorter path was open. Why did Tolkien write him this way? Why was the king in exile for so much of his life? And what does that say about the kind of leader Tolkien believed in? In this reflection, we'll explore Aragorn's secret childhood in Rivendell, his hidden years as a ranger, why he chose to join the Fellowship, and what his long exile reveals about Tolkien's vision of true kingship. This is Aragorn the Exile, why he waited in the shadows. Aragorn was born in secret. His father, Arathorn, was slain when Aragorn was just 2 years old. His mother, Gilrain, brought him to Rivendell, where Elrond fostered him as his own son. For many years, Aragorn did not even know his true name. He was called Estel, hope in Elvish. Tolkien tells us in the appendices that Elrond revealed his lineage to him at the age of 20. He was heir of Isildur, chieftain of the Dunedain, and destined to be king of Gondor and Arnor. But he did not march south to claim his throne. Instead, he went into the wild. He became Strider, leader of the Rangers, nameless protectors of the Shire. The king of Gondor became a wanderer in rags. After his father's death, Aragorn's life in Rivendell shaped the man he would become. It was not until he came of age that Elrond told him the truth. Alongside his heritage, Elrond gave him the broken shards of Narsil, a symbol of both burden and promise. But Elrond also instilled restraint. Aragorn was not raised as a king in waiting, but as a man of humility and healing. He learned law, wisdom and patience, the slow virtues of stewardship. And here, in Rivendell, Aragorn first saw Arwen walking beneath the trees. Their bond was formed, but Elrond laid down a hard condition. Arwen could not wed Aragorn unless he achieved his destiny and reclaimed the throne of Gondor and Arnor. So Rivendell was both a sanctuary and a proving ground. It gave Aragorn hope, but also set before him a road of waiting and preparation. Why not return at once to Minas Tirith to take the crown that was his by right? Because Aragorn knew kingship was not about blood alone. It was about readiness. He spent decades serving in disguise, in Rohan, in Gondor, even in the Marad. In Gondor, he was known only as Thorongil, the mysterious captain who fought with brilliance and then vanished. Even Denethor the steward never knew his true name. This was not cowardice, this was apprenticeship. Aragorn was proving himself, not for conquest, but for stewardship. In Tolkien's world, a king must first be a servant. When the War of the Ring begins, Aragorn still does not seize power. In Bree, he is Strider. In Rivendell, he does not press his claim on Gondor. Even at Helm's Deep, he fights not as king, but as a captain among many, by the needs of others. He does not demand. He does not command. He accepts leadership only when it's given to him. He waits until this moment has come. And even then, even with Sauron's army on the move, Aragorn says, "I do not claim to command you. Let each do as he wills. But I say to you, those who wish to be free, follow me." This is not the voice of a tyrant. It is a voice of a servant king. At Rivendell is not about advancing his claim to kingship. It is about something far greater, standing beside the Hobbit. When Elrond forms the company, Aragorn is already the heir of Isildur. Aragorn's choice to join the Fellowship, he could have chosen the direct path south to Minas Tirith. Instead, he binds his fate to Frodo. Why? Because in Tolkien's world, true power does not flow from crowns or thrones. It flows from faithfulness to what is small. Aragorn understands that if the ring is not destroyed, all kingdoms will fall. Gondor itself will mean nothing. So he sets aside his personal destiny to safeguard Frodo's. Frodo later says, "I would have guided you, but you have been my guide." Aragorn's kingship is forged not on battlefields, but on the long road beside hobbits, where he learns that service and sacrifice define true authority. Exile is not passive, it is a choice. Aragorn's long years in the shadows are not wasted time. They are his testing, his tempering, his proof that he can wield power without being consumed by it. Tolkien, who had seen the lust of power ruin nations in his own century, offers Aragorn as a counter-image. The man who waits, who serves, who prepares in obscurity until the hour is right. Where Boromir falters in impatience, Aragorn endures in restraint. The hidden years are the reason he can be trusted with the throne when it finally comes. And there is another reason Aragorn waits: Arwen. Elrond will not allow her to bind herself to Aragorn until he has proven himself, until he has reclaimed both Gondor and Arnor. This means Aragorn's waiting is not only political, it is deeply personal. His love is delayed, conditioned on his destiny. Arwen's gift of immortality, made mortal, her choice to bind herself to him, is not given lightly. Aragorn must wait for decades, carrying both hope and grief. His love deepens in exile, but also purifies his kingship. He does not grasp at the power to win Arwen. He becomes the man who can receive her love. Only after the ring is destroyed does Aragorn finally claim the throne. And when he does, it is not as a conqueror, it is as a healer. The hands of a king are the hands of a healer, Tolkien writes. And so Aragorn's kingship begins not with war, but with restoration. He tends the wounds in the House of Healing. He brings renewal to Gondor. The exile is over. The waiting has borne fruit. Aragorn becomes Elisar, Elfstone, the green jewel of renewal. So why does Aragorn wait in the shadows? Because true kingship, in Tolkien's world, is not about ambition. It is about patience. It is about readiness. It is about proving that authority is safe only in the hands of those who do not crave it. Aragorn's exile shows us that power is purified by waiting, that leadership is tested in humility, that greatness is born in obscurity long before it is crowned in glory. Aragorn the exile, Strider the wanderer, Elisar the king. His life is not a story of ambition fulfilled, but of patience rewarded. He teaches us that the greatest leaders are those who wait, who serve, who endure in silence, until the time comes to step into the light. If this reflection on Aragorn gave you something to carry, share it with a fellow traveller, and subscribe for more quiet truths from Middle-earth. Because Tolkien's wisdom is this: power without waiting becomes domination, but power tempered by exile becomes hope.